Hello and welcome to this vlog post. This is going to be the last vlog post you hear from me with a house minus a screaming creature, so let's just enjoy that for a moment. Can you hear that? Nothing. So we should make the most of it. And to celebrate, I'm going to bring to you the last in... Oh, this has been such a fantastic series to narrate. It's by the wonderful Martin Schiller, and it's the Blackbird series. Now, this was originally going to be just 3 books, but the last book held more than Mr. Schiller had perhaps initially envisaged. So it's a 4-book series. It sort of goes without saying that this last book, Excalibur, from the outset, there are going to be spoilers. So even from me just reading you the back of the book. So, of course, what I would recommend is go back to book 1 if you haven't started yet, listen to all of them, and then join me here for book 4. In the meantime, if you are ready for this, let me read to you the back of Martin Schiller's book 4 final book in the Blackbird series, Excalibur. The exciting conclusion of the Blackbird series. With Nazca in ruins and Elizabeth missing, Penelope must struggle to find her lover, and then determine if she is a Lyran agent or a victim of the insidious Mr. Grey. That, and win her right to wield Excalibur and the Sangreal. But her path to the summit of the ladder is filled with perils, and she must call upon all of her powers to win her way through the tests that await her. Nothing less than the lives of millions of unsuspecting humans hangs in the balance. I just want to apologise at this stage. I think Creature has moved into my lungs, and I'm really struggling to string any kind of sentence together in one breath. So if you hear me pausing for breath quite a lot, I'm sorry. You can't see, but I'm the size of a house. I'm going to read to you either the whole prologue or just a bit of it, depending on how much I can breathe. And I also want to apologise for every other vlog I've done for this series. I've had the paper book, but due to the fact that my house is a baby awaiting mess right now, I can't find it. So I'm really, really sorry, Martin. Martin's books are beautiful, gorgeous artwork, and always really nice and shiny. So I'm sorry that I can't show it off this time. But maybe just go and buy yourself a copy and then you can see it in the flesh. So this is the prologue for Martin Schiller's Blackbird Excalibur. Again, spoilers alert, basically from the first word. Prologue. In which I behold the ravages visited upon Nazca. Then I learn of a new home for our squadron and realise that something is amiss with Ms. Maya. After this, we travel through the jump worlds to the city of Huik. The shattered domes of Nazca were the perfect mirror of my funereal mood. The base looked just as broken and forlorn as I myself felt. Nor was I alone in my grief. Blackbird too had been affected, for in their attack, the Lyrans had destroyed the control tower, and with it her artificial friend, Amika. Only my reassurance that a copy of the AI had been saved to the friendship ball had kept her from going completely to pieces. That, and the promise that when the chance arose, I would see it installed in our garden at last. And as for me, I had only hoped to sustain me, that somehow Elizabeth would be restored to my company. It was a thin and threadbare thing, and in complete opposition to the odds, but still far preferable to despair. I shall find you, my love, I vowed, as I guided my spaceship earthwards, wherever and whenever you are. Presently I sat down on a section of tarmac that had not suffered overmuch from the bombing. My squadron mates were awaiting me, and to the last their expressions were as darksome as mine. "Whither is the fight?" I asked, as I strode up to them. Just then I relished the possibility of combat, if only to turn my anguish into anger, and deal the Lyrans some great and grievous injury. Hamilcar one disillusioned me, though. "For now there is no battle, Penelope. We are consolidating our forces at a new base. This one will no longer serve us, and it shall be demolished." Glancing past him, and beyond our Beyond our line of face ships, I could see that groups of mechanica were already starting in on this unhappy task. They were already hard at work, pulling apart the remains of a dome and setting the pieces aside in a great pile. Soon, Nazca would be returned to what it had once been before the masters had claimed it, I reflected, a lonely wind-swept plain with only the occasional condor to populate its sky. I had become quite accustomed to it, and now it would no longer serve as my second home. Another precious thing lost then, I thought dolefully. What is our destination, sir? The city of Huiik, he answered. The Sauri have agreed to assist with our relocation. We will, of course, be using the jump worlds to make the discovery. Stifling a groan of displeasure, I nodded in acquiescence. Thanks to the memories of former lives and my own experience, I was as familiar as any chrononaut with this disagreeable method of travel. It utilized naturally occurring temporal nodes, just as a puddle jumper might, but in worlds situated outside of the 9 universes. These strange realms, governed as they were by entirely different physical laws, allowed them to function as what 20th century physicists had dubbed wormholes. By passing through them, hundreds of thousands of years could be bypassed, and the relative flight time shortened considerably. The only disadvantage was the fundamental nature of the worlds themselves. Many were quite hazardous and presented great challenges for a time pilot. Still, they were vastly preferable to the alternative of weeks, if not months, of flying, and everyone understood this. As one, we all turned and headed for our respective vessels. In the process, I could not help but notice that Ziva seemed to be in a particularly foul mood, which did not appear to be entirely related to the jump worlds. Something else was bothering her. Moreover, Manfred also seemed distressed, and he was keeping a careful distance from his lover. Worse, when she and I exchanged glances, the look that she gave me was distinctly frosty. I think that's all I've got steam for today, I'm sorry. That was the first few pages of Martin Schiller's final part in the Blackbird series, Excalibur. It was the first few pages of the prologue. You can listen to more than that, I believe, for free as a sample. I don't think I've got any free codes for this one, I'm afraid, so you're just going to have to get your pennies out. You can listen to the whole book on Amazon, Audible and iTunes. I think that's all I've got for you today. So thank you for joining me in this currently baby-free house. I hope to bring to you more peaceful vlogs, but I'm not going to make you promises that I can't keep. So I will doubtless see you in a few weeks, a few months. Hold your fire. There will be more books coming from me in the meantime. I'm working my oversized bottom off at the moment to get things out. We've got a fabulous Druid series coming up. The last part, I think it's the last part in Reverse Harem Erotica, which is always a lot of fun. And the box set of Rosemary A. John's Rebel Angels series. So they'll all be coming to you imminently. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Becca Tells Tales, and the website thing, Rebecca McKernan, I think, .com. But why would you want to check that when you can get such good service just watching this professional vlog? Anyway, it's been a pleasure working with you for the last 3 years, and I shall speak to you again when I have sort of morphed into a slightly different form. Thank you for listening. See you soon. Lots of love. Mwah.